Hello everyone. My name is Fletch, and welcome to the Dynamic Duo. A little bit slow on that bit, cutting that out. Welcome to the Dynamic Duo show. It's me alone for the moment, because I believe that today is the anniversary for Chopper Fett. So the Mandalorian is out on Slave 1 with his wife. And they're out celebrating. He told me he may be a little bit late, so hopefully he pulls in a little later on and you get to see him in his monkey suit, right? He might be in his tuxedo, at least I think he should be. Anyway, so it's a good thing. Remember, guys, the best way to make sure that you have a good marriage is remember her birthday and remember her and their anniversary, right? So you can forget both. You're in the doghouse. You're basically in the doghouse. Anyway, I'd like to say hello to everybody out there. Hey, Jonesy. And hello to Forever on Wheels and Mr. GRD. How's it going? Again, apologies for Chopper Fett. Brett will be in probably later on, hopefully, that he'll make it so that he can join us in this show. He's out having dinner, and it's his anniversary, so I'd like to wish him a very happy anniversary. He's stopping in to say hi. He'll be there later. Awesome. Right? There we go. So hopefully he comes in. So before we get started, as you know, this is not the paid version of StreamYard. So I could have 6 people at one go. If hopefully our people come and join in, and we would have about 5 people, so I can leave 1 slot in for him to come in, right? So on to the topic today. Today we'll be talking about video editors. I think it's important for us to be talking about it because at the end of the day, we're out there producing vlogs and blogs and so forth. And I think it's important for us to be able to, put out good content. And I think one of the things that we should be looking into, or a few things that we should be looking into, is stuff to consider, right? You have to make when you look at a program, and a lot of times a software like this, we always tend to look through the features and everything else, and then realize that, oh, damn it, it's not for PC, or damn it, it's not for Mac, right? So things to consider, of course, is that it's multi-platform. It can work for everybody, especially for you, for your needs, right? The editing functions, and of course, the pro or near pro features that it has. Because at the end of the day, it's easy to get video editors. There's a lot of them out there, whether it's paid or free. And I think what happens is that, we are doing a good job of editing our videos, but I think what the reason why we're talking about this particular subject today is because I think we should be looking at bringing the level up on the videos that we edit and how we edit it as well, because I think a lot of times the lower end programs and some of the free programs do a good job of editing, of course, right? You put it together, you add your music, or you add your audio, and then you put it up to YouTube and you're done, But the one thing that we don't realize is that then it looks the same as everything else. We're looking to get video editors that will be able to up our game, and that's what we're talking about, right? So I actually have a list of paid and free versions. It's really up to you. There's no reason to always get a paid version. Sometimes if you're lucky, in terms of the computer you get, chances are they will have a free editing program already with it. So if you're on a Mac, you would have iMovie, and if you have PCs, I believe they have a simple version of it as well. Yeah, the problem with the simple versions are that you could edit your video to the way you want it to. You can add your music and your audio, and then you have like basic titles and stuff like that, and then you put it out. The problem with the stock items that they have is that, or the stock features that they have, is that it invariably looks like something you put together, or for the kids and for the family, and it doesn't matter if it looks a little bit crappy, but it's fine. But here, I think we're looking at video editors that are able to provide a professional look to your videos, and I think that's very important. So let's go through some of the video editors that we have. The first of which is the big boys, right? So we have Final Cut Pro and we have Premiere Pro. Let's start with the downside with some of these big boys, right? So with Final Cut Pro, downside is it doesn't meet the first criteria that I was talking about. Hello, Paul. How's it going? It doesn't meet the criteria in the sense that it's not multi-platform. Final Cut Pro is specifically for the Mac. Now, the thing about Final Cut Pro is that it's used by Hollywood, it's used by the industry, and it comes with a lot of features. Let me try and see if I can show you some of it. I actually prepared something here, if I can get to it in just a bit. Right, so this is Final Cut Pro. Basically, it is, well, you even have a trial version as well, a trial version, but I think it's only for like 60 days. And as you can see, it's quite a comprehensive suite. Of course, with Apple, it has all of these different things. But I think one of the things that you need to be look out for are the more advanced items that are featured within the program. So if you can see here, you've got the multicam feature, right? Video noise reduction, which I think is very important. Motion and compressor, which is an additional thing here. This is, I think, one of the things you should be looking out in most of the programs, which is color correction. Color correction means that you'll be able to get the best visuals out of your camera. Because when you look at GoPro and the various other video editing software out there, they tend to be a little bit limited on what you can do. You can just do the color, brightness, contrast, and that kind of thing. But what's important is in the pro level ones, or the better ones, you actually could add LUTs as well. I'd like to say hello to Scouts Adventures. How's it going, mate? Stevie, I see they had a really good ride. Going back to color corrections, they have something called the LUT, right? It's lookup tables. And a lot of them actually come with really good lookup tables, which will be able to improve on the look of your video. Because when you think about the cameras that we have, the GoPros and the what have you, and you find that a lot of the cameras, either the colors are too saturated, or like some of the GoPros that you have, the new ones anyway, you can actually put it to what they call a log view, right? A log view means that they get as much information in terms of colors and everything else, but it doesn't look very saturated when you bring it in, and that's when you can really color correct it and make it pop as much as possible. And of course, the other major features that are available as well, which you can look through the website. I've actually put a link in the description for all the various video editors that I'll be talking about today in the description below, so you can check them out. So we'll just talk about the paid ones first. Scouse, Brett is not here at the moment. He's out on an anniversary dinner with his wife. He should be popping in. I think he's sneaking in a look at this particular live stream on his phone at the moment while he's having dinner. That's probably going to put him in a doghouse. But in any case, so we're talking about the paid versions. And again, the downside about Final Cut Pro, at least two, I believe, is there's no multi-platform, specifically for Mac only. And the second one is that it can be quite daunting to use. I just saw this. Well, he probably has a nookie later on. I think after he's done with his dinner, that'll be about 5 minutes. So then he can still get on the show. So anyway, so the bad thing is it's Mac. It's only Mac only. And of course, it's very daunting. The good thing is that with the advent of YouTube and everything else, there are a lot of people putting out tutorials and how to use it. I personally use Final Cut Pro, and it comes with a lot already out of the box. But if you want, you can pay for LUTs and transitions and for titles and everything else, which what I use to make it look a little bit different. Right, the multicam is something that you should be looking into, because a lot of times we have the forward, the view of us and the view of the road, to be able to switch through it rather than lining it up and deciding when to cut it in and pull it in and everything else. The multicam actually allows you to put it together, sync everything together, and then decide as you play where you want to cut it. So that's the good thing about multicam. So remember, one of the things to consider is multicam to be able to have very in-depth color correction. And the last most important thing about the audio, as you know, we all struggle with getting the best audio from our mics, and a lot of the bigger boys, Final Cut Pro and everything else, comes with tools already to improve on the audio, cut out wind noise, improve on the sound of your voice, isolate your voice against everything else, and make it sound so much better. Now, the other big boy that we'll be talking about is the Premiere Pro, right? Now, the bad thing about Premiere Pro, I wouldn't say bad. I think the downside about Premiere Pro and Adobe in general is the fact that you would have to pay for a subscription, right? So whether it's 2 years or 1 year, it is something that you have to pay for it all the time. Invariably, if you calculate, it'll be actually more expensive than, say, buying Final Cut Pro, because Final Cut Pro, I bought it several years ago, and it's been a free upgrade ever since. So I'll get the latest version, and I don't have to pay anything anymore. With Adobe products, it would mean that if you want to get the latest version or the best of the best, you have to continue to pay the subscription. Otherwise, you won't get it. Then when your subscription is done, you don't have it anymore, right? So it's important that you consider it. The good thing about Premiere Pro is that it actually covers both platforms, right? So whether you're on a Mac or on a PC, you get to have Premiere Pro when you sign up for the thing. If I remember correctly, I think it's $26 a month to get the full suite, which it starts to add up after a couple of years. So it's something to consider. I think it's very good. But again, Premiere Pro is used in Hollywood. It's a professional video editing product. So you can't go wrong with that. It covers everything that I talked about earlier: the multicams, the LUTs, color correction, audio correction, awesome transitions. Excuse me, awesome transitions, and of course the titles and the lower thirds and everything else that you have. The other paid version, which I believe that isn't too expensive, is Filmora. Just like the rest, they also have a trial version, so you can actually take it out for a trial and take a look and see what's it about. Do they have the features here? Help centers and stuff, blah blah blah. Oh, the learn more, of course. Filmora is pretty easy to use. Just like everything else, it has all the functions. I'm not sure if it does have multicam or not, and I'm not sure if how well it does in terms of audio processing and LUTs, but it does do a pretty good job from what I hear. And for whatever reasons, guide. It doesn't seem to have. Well, okay, it has also different versions of it. Filmora Pro obviously probably is the more expensive one. I'm not sure how much it is. Let's take a look and see. $149, which is not bad. Anyway, but I believe that the Pro version will probably have some of the features that I talked about. I'd like to say hello to Anonymous Biker. How's it going, bro? Mr. GRD, hello. How's it going? Today we're talking about video editors and how to bring up your game and making sure that you get the right stuff to have the job done. The last paid version or paid software you have, which is pretty cheap, it's also on a subscription plan, but I think that for what it is, it does a pretty good job. Again, I'm not sure in terms of LUTs. Oh, this is another thing that you have to look into, which is the chroma keying. So if you decide to do a lot of this kind of thing, right, the talking head thing, and you want to have a blue screen, which I decided not to have today, you could actually have a blue or green screen behind you and put stuff behind, videos and stuff like that, to be able to show off the things that you want to do, to make it a little bit different, right? Transitions being transitions, sometimes you have the basic stuff. They all do anyway. They all have it. But again, it's the quality and the look, and whether it looks like a home video or a professional video. I think it's something to really consider all about it. So I think, to me, of the few that I've mentioned earlier, I think for the paid versions, if you have to pay for something, might as well go for the best. Either go for Premiere Pro or go for Final Cut Pro if you're just a Mac, because it covers just about everything. I believe that some of the videos that you watched, especially the drone ones, especially my review on the MAvic Mini, I think it's a good example of taking a look at what I did, because I actually showed the difference between the video that comes out of the camera and after I color corrected it, and what a big difference it was that you could do, right? And the effects that I could get out of it. So I think if you need to buy a piece of software, you got some cash on you, I suggest that you get the Pro version, because then you get everything anyway. All the professional editing features, plus really professional looking graphics, professional looking titles and transitions and so forth, right? I believe that right now Final Cut Pro is going at about $250. And I think the subscription for Premiere Pro is $26 a month. Now, looking at the free ones, the one that comes the one that is really professional. And I'm surprised because this free software, actually, if I knew about it, or if I had known about it, I would have gotten it instead of Final Cut Pro. But it is what it is. But I think if you decide not to buy anything and you don't want to spend that kind of money, Davinci Resolve is free. It has everything that you need that I mentioned about. It has the color corrections, the LUTs, really professional looking titles and lower thirds. The transitions are not the simple wipes and everything else. You have professional transitions. It has the audio tools to improve on your audio. And then, of course, you got the multicam, which is important for us to cut down the time that we're doing on editing. And multicam is a real time saver to be able to switch through and switch across the different views that you have. Right. I believe that Davinci Resolve has all the features that you require. Right. It has it has all the, I think you can take a look at it. Again, the link for all that I'm talking about is in the description below. You'll be able to take a look and see at all these various things that you can do with it. Now, the next one that I would like to show you is HITFILM Express. This is free, and I'm very impressed by it. Again, they have done movies with it, and if you go to this particular website for HITFILM, you see that they have actually produced some really good movies, and it really looks very, very good. I'm not sure if I can show you. Yeah, so this is free, believe it or not, right? And the quality of the stuff that they have, they've actually produced their own movies and stuff with it, and it actually works together with Blender. Blender is a 3D editing software, a 3D animation creation software, which I think is something, if you're really interested, you should probably have a look at it. I'd like to say hello to Hermit on the bike. How's it going? And Walton, PA. How's it going, mate? I'd be very happy with Davinci Resolve. I'm struggling to get the hang of Fusion Builder portion where you can create and modify effects. Yeah, so that's a good thing about Davinci Resolve. Now, the problem with Final Cut Pro and Premiere Pro is that you have to buy a separate software to be able to do the additional effects, the really professional Hollywood effects and titles and everything else. It's not a lot for Final Cut Pro. It's $50. I'm not sure if After Effects is included in the suite. So if it is, great. But as with everything else, those those high-end programs has a learning curve. But I believe that Fusion Builder or Davinci Resolve has a lot of tutorials out there. I think Davinci Resolve, especially as well, I've seen a lot of tutorials and everything else on YouTube. So I think if you watch them, they should be able to take you through. I'd like to say hello to Wild on Two's vlog. How's it going, mate? Again, apologies for me being alone. I know it's supposed to be the Diamond Duo, but today is the wedding anniversary of Chopper Fett and his wife, of course, right? So he's out in Slave 1, out in the galaxy having a good dinner. Hopefully he can pull in and join us in his chat. Hopefully after a nookie, because that's what he needs, right? And let's all wish him a happy anniversary. ShotCut is another one. Again, I'm pulling out these few, and again, all of this is in my description. In the description, all the links are there that you can take a look. It's got loads and loads of stuff that covers the things that I talked about, and that you'll be able to produce really good content out there. And again, of course, it's cross-platform, so it means that you can have it on Windows, Mac, and Linux. That's what that little penguin is all about. So go through that. And Lightworks is another one. Again, I'm not going to go through all these features. And then finally, ShotCut, which I showed earlier. Right, so it goes through all these various features and so forth to be able to just go through it all. Remember to take into account that you want to be able to push out the best content possible. Now, let me try and see if I can give you an example of what I meant by color corrections and so forth. Let me bring you into one of the videos I did, if I can find it. I didn't realize that I have so much garbage. Sorry, I'm looking through all of this to see. Thumbnails are supposed to help you, but it doesn't really help me very much in finding what I want to show. Right? Let me share the screen. Okay, so let me go through what I mean by transitions and so forth. Now, if you look at the thing I'm showing you, if you have a good software out, you'll be able to do something exactly like this. You can see on the right-hand side is without the color corrections, on the left-hand side with. What a big difference that you can pull out the max from that particular software. So some of them aren't able to do it. They just basically do some of the saturation and everything else, but it won't be able to do very much in terms of the colors and making it pop and so forth, right? To be able to do it in a different aspect ratio, meaning you want to look at like a Hollywood film, very cinematic, right? Again, here's an example. So you have the lower thirds below the transition that you saw earlier. To be able to do this particular effect, I think it's really important to be able to show off what you've done, to be able to give the best look possible, to be able to get the best audio and visuals as possible, to be able to up your game. As you can see, look, what a big difference. Something very bland. This is out of the camera directly from the MAvic Mini. And then, of course, with Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro, you should be able to do exactly the same. Same with the other videos out there, right? So that's a lower third or title, and that's me talking about all those things anyway. So I think it's important that we try to look at the software that we have and try to bring the best out of it, right? So what I'll do now is let me put a link in the side chat, and let's come in and discuss about the various editing software that you do. One thing, a caveat, is that, of course, if you buy the GoPro or the Insta360 or what have you, they come with their own video editing programs. They do an okay job. They have the things that I talked about. But again, the quality that comes out of it is fairly okay. But I think we need to try to step up our game a little bit. So, guys, I put the link in the description below, in the side chat. Please do pop in. But if it does get a bit full, I'd like to say hello to Superman Kev, how's it going? But I'm gonna leave one spot out for Chopper Fett, so when he comes in, he can join us as well. Sorry again, I'm alone. It's supposed to be the dynamic duo show, but again, as I said, it's his anniversary. I'd like to say once again, happy anniversary to Chopper Fett and his wife. Hopefully he lands Slave 1 as soon as possible so that we can get on with the show together. Okay? So, and of course, we've got my good friend Paul, the Harley Roadshow. How's it going, mate?
Jesus bloody Christ almighty. How are you, mate?
Good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good topic.
Thank you very much. Now, I'm glad that you came on because in your case, you've taken it to the other extreme. Unlike myself, you're using the GoPro software and you're editing on your phone.
Yes.
Right. Have you done one that you actually talked about it, or you were meant to talk about it?
I've done a couple little bits, but not anything major. Actually, while I'm in this 6-week lockdown, I'm going to do one on it there. But yeah, all I'm using is Video Leap, is what I'm using at the moment, which is just an app on the phone. So everything I do is edited on the phone.
Okay.
As you know, I've found, Video Leap's got color correction. It's got most of the stuff that I've needed. I'm all about putting in the best content possible from the filming perspective. And I'm not about what do you call it, like special effects and all that sort of stuff. To me, it's all about the story. It's about connecting with the audience. That's what I'm about. So I don't get into the software so much. It's more about for me, it's more about the prior to software. Filming as good as possible, getting a decent story, getting some good angles. That's what I'm about.
Well, I think that's important anyway.
That's not to say that I don't agree with the other stuff, but that's just me because I'm shit at computers and stuff as well. So
no, but I think it doesn't really matter about the software that we use. I think it's what we put out as well. In my case, I speak for myself. I can be creative and I cannot always be creative. So to me, is when I'm not that creative, is when these special effects and the transitions and the colors and everything else comes in. In your case, if those of you who've never watched, please go and watch his videos. Paul, the Harley Roadshow, has some really good stuff out there. You've been in your case, you don't care. You're not going to focus too much on the special effects, but how you put the story out, right? So the different camera angles, the bits of slow motion, and it's not just one or two camera angles, which we all seem to be using. You get 3 or 4 different camera angles, and sometimes you put in a drone as well while you're riding, which I think is really very good, right? And putting it together in a fashion in which captures your attention, I think that's very important. You've probably been very gotten your own workflow down as simply as possible, and in ease of use for you. Probably, if someone had is not too used to fiddling around on the phone, and I used to use something called what was the name of that software? I use it on my phone as well. It's called LumaFusion.
Yep.
Right, that's a paid version. It's not free, but it's $14 one time, and I used to use that. But the problem with me is that my eyes and the age and everything else, fucking with the phone. So it's just after a while you get cross-eyed and something, so it's a bit mad for me, so I go the way of the computer, and I have a huge screen here that I'll be able to do it. But I think it goes to show that yourself and Webb and a few others have been able to do what you can do with whatever resources that you have, and I think that's important as well.
Yeah.
Right?
And the other thing I do that makes it a bit easier with the editing process is when I upload my all my footage, I do it in sync, so in storyline. So as it's into my phone, then I just pluck it edit it, chop it. And you'll probably notice too in my stuff, I tend to flick through the view pretty quickly. So 3 to 5 seconds, change camera angle, just constantly doing that just to keep the flow going. And I think I've spoken to you about before. If you look at anything, even like I've said, boring documentaries of the Serengeti, they're constantly changing, whether it is an angle, a distance shot. It's always really, really quick. And that's, I think, that's what makes it interesting to the eye. But also, I do color correction as well, but I do it within Video Leap. But I try and get my camera settings right within the GoPro, which I did a video on. But once you've got that down, I think it makes it a whole lot easier in the back end. Because I don't really want to sit around and edit for hours on end. I want to get it over and done with. All done and dusted. Upload it, Superman.
Hey, Superman Kev.
No,
I know what you mean.
No ice cream today, mate.
What's that?
No ice cream today, Superman.
No, actually, I just came back from an ice cream run.
Oh my God, we have pizza runs, but you have ice cream run. Awesome.
We have ice cream runs, and I've got to get up early tomorrow because we're going on an ice cream run.
Another one. Oh my!
I think Chopper Fett's doing his own ice cream run at the moment.
Oh yeah, he's getting some ice cream. That's for sure. Yeah. That's something I haven't heard for a long time. So, Kev, what do you use?
Pardon me?
What do you use for video editing? Yeah.
I use iMovie.
iMovie. Okay. So you're on the Mac.
I use iMovie, and I was going to get the Final Cut Pro, and I've been using iMovie. I have had iMovie for a long time, and I know how it works, and it's like I found other things, like some of the tricks in iMovie I've learned over time, and I'm really comfortable with it. So it's what I use.
Sure, but the thing about iMovie and any Apple product, you find that when you open up Final Cut Pro for the first time, you realize that it looks exactly the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it works. Like, for instance, I give you an example. I'm doing music, as you know. I'm doing music as well, and music videos. I've just put out one. But initially, I'm using something called GarageBand, which is for iOS. It's the free version of the music software and everything else.
Yeah, I have it.
But when I went to Logic, it was exactly the same. But then you had more features. It looked exactly the same. So when they know well enough that you use the baby Final Cut Pro, which is iMovie, and when you suddenly up your game and you move up to Final Cut Pro, you realize that everything's the same. Whatever you want to look for in iMovie, it's there and more. So actually, your transition to Final Cut Pro will be seamless, and you suddenly find that you got actually more things that you can use. Right? It's just whether you're willing to pay that kind of money, and whether what you have now suits what you're doing, or do you want to spend $240 for something a little bit more?
It's $400 for me.
It's $400. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was some time ago. I bought it when they were having a sale at $150. Right. That was a couple of years ago, and the good thing about Final Cut Pro is that you buy it once and you upgrade for free for life. So you keep getting the newest, latest version for free, in a sense, right? So, okay. I mean, to me, the tools help, and the reason why we wanted to talk about it, why I wanted to talk about it, and as I showed you in the video that I had before, sometimes we want to be able to up our game, right? If you're a creative person like Paul, then it's easy, right? You decide that you focus on the story and not the tool. In my case, sometimes the story is there in the mind, but for me anyway, it makes life easier for me to use something like Final Cut Pro to be able to put everything together, get the different views really chopped quick, put it together. And the one draw for me is to get the different look, because everybody looks the same from a GoPro. If they're using the same thing, what they do is they just do a bit of color correction, they just put it out, and it looks the same, right? And why I went into Final Cut Pro is to be able to make it look different as well, right? To add the different transitions, to add the crops and special effects and everything else to be also different as well. But I think one of the most important things for me was they also have an audio set that will do correction on your audio. So if you're really bad audio, GoPro does a pretty good job of cutting down the wind noise and background noises. But things like Final Cut Pro and Premiere Pro actually have audio tools that you can actually literally even cut it some more. Emphasize on the voice. They actually have a tool that's really very good that can actually...
You can actually do that in iMovie too.
Yeah. That's the basic one. But if you go to Final Cut Pro, they actually have something much, much better, right? You can actually dial it in and cut everything out if the audio is really bad and you get a lot of wind noise, So that's why, for the most part, most of the videos that I have, it is still very clear. You can't hear my engine noise, if you notice, right? You can't hear my exhaust and everything else. It's because that's how dialed in it can be, right? Even though it's really nice with the engine noise, but there was a lot of wind. So it really dialed in my voice, and you can hear my voice, but it cuts out everything else. So there is a trade-off, but there are times when you forget yourself and you put it at the wrong place and you just get shit into your helmet, right? So the most important thing is to be able to hear you. So that was one of the biggest features for me, especially, and okay, it's my fault. I also tend to be riding my bike faster and harder than most, I think, because I realize that everybody keeps it down to about 40, 50 miles an hour when they do their vlogs. I'm tearing down without even feeling it or noticing it at about 80 miles an hour. And that's when all the wind noise and all the crap comes in, right? Because I just want to ride, right?
Well, the way around that is to do what I do.
Which is?
I do voiceovers.
Oh, okay.
I do voiceover because then you can, and like the Harley Road Show there, I can tell my story, right? And I can lay it out much better on what I'm trying to say and the story I'm trying to tell by doing it afterwards. Because if you're trying to make a video and edit the video, like the way you guys do it, I mean, a lot of you guys is you've got your helmet on and you ride around and you talk about whatever. And like, I don't do that. Typically I have a story that I tell, beginning, middle, end of what I did that day. And I have a lot of transitions and a lot of camera angles when I do it. My videos tend to be shorter because I put a lot more edits in than I think a lot of you guys do, right? Because I've watched some moto vloggers, they'll have like an 11, 12, 20-minute video. I seldom have anything that's over 5 minutes because mine are so... It takes me hours and hours to edit them because I've so much stuff.
Yeah, no, I know.
But we all do it differently. I like my style, and that's why I do it that way.
No, but I mean, to me, you're right. I mean, sometimes I think we focus too much about of doing it the motor vlogging way, right? In which we are on the thing, strap the camera on, and we're talking to make it seem as if we're talking to that person. But I think everybody does that anyway, and I think it's a good idea to go away from it. So like Paul and yourself do exactly the same thing. You do a lot of voiceovers, right, Paul? In telling your story, right? In the few recent ones that you've had,
yep.
Except for the DIY thing, which you can't, right? That's all right. But I know the ones that you're on the bike prior to the lockdown, you literally have your voiceovers and you talk about it and you move through the story. And I think I should be doing that as well. Move away from the traditional talk to the camera in your helmet kind of thing. Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. There's I do a lot of when when I watch YouTube, I don't sort of watch YouTube aimlessly. I try and pick something that's going to help me out with what I'm doing. So I look at things like there's a thing called Story of Bike. There's Roads We Ride, all that sort of stuff. And if you look at it, it's really, really, really well filmed, really well edited. Looks super silky, super slick, and it's all about it's about basically telling a story about the person, because most of us that are watching it, you're watching a motorcycle video, but you're actually really watching the person, right? You're actually engaging with that person. You're thinking, what does this guy do normally? And that's what we're interested in. That's why somebody like the $1 Million Bogan, who everybody's he's the guy that everybody watches at the moment. That's why he's so interesting. It's not about the bike. It's got nothing to do with the bike. It's about the shit that he gets up to.
That's true.
And what happens to him along the way. That's what you're engaging. You're engaging in his story, and I think the reason he's so successful is because he puts it out there. He doesn't. It's a no holds barred, warts and all type of thing. I think some of it, is a little bit, especially his more recent ones, are a little bit more forced. But I think the ones with him and Parry and stuff like that are very. That's why they're so funny, because they're just normal blokes, and I think that's why it's so successful. And it's the same. One thing you always got to be is don't be something that you're not. And because people can see through, if you're fake, people will see through it. And that's why, mate, if you know me in everyday life, I'm exactly the same as what I am on the video. There's I swear all the time. I talk all the time. I don't shut up. My wife constantly tells me to shut up. And that's just who I am. And I think if you're real and you're and you do basically the way you are in everyday life, people engage with it. People understand what you like. People like that. They don't like bullshit.
I think you're absolutely right. I've if anybody didn't already know, I
like ice cream.
I like ice cream.
That's
And, I've had 20 years of theater, and so if that doesn't come out in some of my stupid videos, you're not really paying attention. I've been in a lot of plays, and I've been in some movies and stuff like that, and I like that kind of crap.
But I think it comes through, Kev. I think your sense of humor and the way you do your videos. I think what helps in your channel is besides, of course, the relevant content of you teaching stuff, the various comedy sketches that you put out. I think it's pretty good. Not pretty. It's very good. And it keeps me entertained all the time whenever your thing comes out. But I may not comment on it, but I'm definitely watching it. I'm definitely liking it. Because right now there are just tons of videos I have to go through every single day with everybody that's putting the stuff up. So at least make sure that I watch them and comment. And then when I can, I try and comment. But otherwise, I just watch them and like them. And I think that's the one thing that keeps everybody coming back, right? And again, one of the reasons why I'm stepping away a little bit is rethinking about how I'm going to approach the videos I'm going to do. I'm just tired of putting out me in my helmet, talking about shit when I should be telling a story.
I'll be honest with you, Fletch. I found the best videos of yours that I've seen are the ones where you showed where you live. I think that one. One where you
the COVID one, right?
Yeah, that one. That was like really, really, really good. And it was not that there wasn't that much talking, but I'm genuinely interested in where people live, what they and I think that's what most people are. Things that they do, where they go, places they eat at, what sort of food they like, places they go to, what festivals they go to, all that shit. That's really interesting to me. And to me, that was some of the really good thing. And the other thing is too, I reckon with especially now where there's so many guys doing this sort of stuff, you've got to be a little bit different. And I think everybody that does the moto vlogging thing, some guys how do I put it? Like, the whole. I don't like the whole running people speeding up when somebody's about to cut you off and giving them the finger. That to me is bullshit, right? It's just I mean, half the time, back off the accelerator, you won't even get to that situation in the first place. But, but I just think that the more gone are the days where you sit there and just talk as you're riding along. I think unless you got something really important to say, that's really interesting, it gets boring after a while. So I reckon do that, but then show where you live, show where you go to, show how much petrol is in your neck of the woods, show what store you pull up to get your favorite donut, whatever. Take us where you get your best ice cream. I've got a grouse ice cream shop here. I'll have to do it one day. I'll show you, Kev, because it's called Sprinkles. Fuck, it's nice ice cream. Fuck me, man. Fuck, it's nice. Anyway,
I know what you mean.
That's what I'm about. That's what I'm surely more people are interested in that than just aimlessly driving along and talking shit.
Yeah.
Actually, truthfully, the things that you're talking about, and I've been actually watching a lot of other YouTube videos out there to get inspiration and to see which direction we want to go. And you're absolutely correct. I think the ones that capture my attention are those that are talking about your lifestyle, about stuff that you're doing, different from where I am, for sure. I think the Blue Bike and Doyle is one of them, right? Even though people may say, "Oh God, he's gone back to the Barbie Beach again," but it's interesting, right? This is little crazy thing in the corner, just around the corner from where he stays, and every couple of months, someone swaps it out and changes that's interesting, right?
I wish he'd do more stuff on the walking. He's a big Walking Dead fan and all that sort of stuff. I wish he'd do more stuff.
I don't think they're filming.
Sorry.
No. They're not filming now because of
but even if you go to the locations, talk about. I love all that stuff, because I used to watch The Walking Dead religiously, but that sort of stuff I really like, But not every video you're going to put out is going to be an absolute winner. That's the other thing. Like, some people are going to connect with it, some people aren't.
Exactly.
But hey, shit happens. But I reckon, look, if like you said before, Fletch, I honestly think that's why, have you ever watched Itchy Boots?
Yes. Yes.
Another one. I mean, it's nothing. It's spectacular, but she's relatable. She talks. It's cool stuff when she's going on. She's got balls the size of coconuts to do some of the stuff she does. By herself. Yeah. But that's why people. It's you're actually engaging with that person. You like that person. That's why you watch them. And if you think about TV shows, it's the same thing, right? You like the character, or you like what's happening. You're interested in what's happening with the character, and that's why TV shows become so interesting. Hence, The Walking Dead, when everybody's tuning to see what Rick was doing and all the other guys in that show. That's what people connect with in any walk of life.
I don't know if you ever watched this particular YouTube channel called The Moto Barista.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. He's really interesting, right? Glide.
Yeah, he's got a Sport Glide.
Right. So he talks about bikes, of course, but it's always in relation to his travels.
Yep.
And he takes us on a little trip. Of course, he goes back to coffee and everything else. That's because he's a barista.
Yep.
Right. And stuff like so. It's a story revolving around his bike and his adventures and what he really does. And he combines both his work and his love for motorcycles, which I thought was very interesting. Then you got Webb, right?
Yeah.
This nutcase has put out 3 videos talking about a Waffle House, and which is never even talked about in any of the 3 videos. So I cussed him out in one of them, right? It is thing is like, fucking, you made me watch 3 fucking videos of yours right through to the end, and not one mention of your fucking waffles, except that you keep wanting to get to it, right? And I think it's awesome, right? You tell his whole life story. He did travel on a car or what have you, right? But ultimately, it's about his travels in the United States, and he hasn't gotten to the waffle thing yet, which I thought was pretty good, right? It kept you on. It kept me watching it all through, and I keep waiting next week. Okay, what's this Waffle House shit all about? That he goes on and on about Las Vegas and getting shit faced, and then moving on to the next part of the country, and then no Waffle House. Fuck.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? It's the interesting story. It's what's going to happen next. What's he going to do? I love Webb stuff. I reckon it's grouse. That thing he did with the Nokia, the old phone where he filmed.
Yeah.
That was really good. I laughed when he lost it in the bush somewhere.
On his drone, right?
Yeah,
and that's a funny thing because I think it's one of our dynamic duo episodes that almost at the end of it we decided that okay, inspiration from the Harley Roadshow, take a video with your phone, take your videos or your motor vlogs with a phone, edit it on your phone and put it out on YouTube. That was a challenge, right? So far, never gotten around to it. But he decided to do something a little bit different with that.
Yep.
Right? He still used Final Cut Pro to cut it, but he decided to dig up his old Nokia and filmed everything. Jesus. Yeah. No, but it was so retro, right?
It looked cool.
I know, it looked so good. And it brought back some memories because it looked like a little square. You couldn't get the full aspect ratio, right? So you get a little square of the old YouTube days, right? The old 80s videos. And he had the cinema, and his wife or girlfriend was using it as well. It's awesome. And of course, being the madman that he is, he strapped it to his drone. Fucking lost it in the bush. That's unbelievable, man. Oh boy. But you're right. I mean, honestly speaking, even though the topic was about video editors, and obviously we needed a topic to talk about, but I knew well enough that it would be about how we approach the videos and looking for something different, right?
Yeah.
And how to best approach it.
There's a great channel. I don't know if anybody's seen it, called Sailing into Freedom. If you get a chance, have a look at that. He's an Aussie guy who basically got divorced, sold up everything, bought a yacht, and started sailing around the world, and ended up marrying this girl. I think she's from Chile, or anyway. The whole thing I've been watching, he got stuck in this COVID lockdown. They went from island to island to island. They kept getting kicked off, and they were trying to hide out at sea because nobody would let them, go into port anywhere because they thought they were, and then they were running out of water, running out of fuel. She was seasick because she ran out of seasick tablets. But again, it's the whole thing about what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next is what keeps you engaged and keeps you going back. It's a great show, really, really good. And I mean, how entertaining can it be? They're on a boat, which is the size of a bedroom, basically. Yeah. Yet you keep going back to see what's going to happen to the next, what the next challenge is, and that's what I keep going back to. But going back to the video editing software, what do you use, Fletch?
Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut Pro. Yeah, I did the other one, the Adobe Premiere Pro. I got it.
Premiere Pro. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in my computer. Like somebody downloaded. I just can't be fagged, mate. I just don't.
I know. It's too much.
Yeah. Look, for me, if it takes me, more than an hour to edit, I'm starting to get shitty. So, I get it in as quick as possible, get as many cuts in as possible, get it all happening really, really quickly. Sync the music up. And I reckon music's a big thing with editing too. If you can get decent music in there, especially music that matches the mood that it's there, that can change a good video into a great video. If you can set the mood by your music, man, that's what makes a really, really good video.
I agree, and I know you're from a music background as well, so I think you really feel about the idea of music drives the video as well, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the stock stuff that you get from your video editors, and of course YouTube has some free stuff, but that's bullshit. Some of it's really shit.
Where do you guys get your music from?
Epidemic Sound.
Yeah, so do I.
In the Video Leap software, it's actually got a grouse video library, like really, really good. And anything you can think of, like I'll chuck in, slide guitar, and you get a whole heap of slide guitar. You put in sexy music comes up. You put in, I don't know, driving music or funny music or ska, whatever. You whack it in, and a whole heap of stuff comes up. Harmonica stuff, blues harp, all that sort of shit comes up, and they got some grouse stuff in there. And the other thing is too, if you can combine that with color changes, right? So if you can go from say like a black and white, and then and the music sort of slowing down, and you pop it into into color when the music picks up, man, that's what really makes your videos pop. That's
I know.
That's what
I noticed that in yours as well. I think you're talking about Video Leap and LumaFusion is the other one. These two, I think, are the ones that are really one of the best mobile editing software, because you can also use it on your iPad as well.
Yep.
And they both come with even LumaFusion has a huge library of great music that's royalty free.
Yep.
Right. And of course, YouTube picks up the fact that you're using LumaFusion and their stock. It's like thousands and thousands of stuff, and they keep on adding new stuff all the time.
That's what pisses me off. I keep getting copyright strikes, right, on the video lead, and you put in a dispute every single time, and it gets written. But the last one I just did was which one was that? The helmet rack thing. The last, I don't know, 5 seconds, I put one clip in of music, and they put up, oh, now you got a copyright strike, blah blah blah. You put in this dispute as usual. They said, "Oh no, we're still holding the copyright thing." That's something I've got to send them another email. So what are you talking about? It's royalty free. You can't do that. I don't know why YouTube keeps doing it, but they need to up their software.
You know, the problem is that a lot of times that these people who they say is royalty free, like Epidemic Sound, Video Leap, and LumaFusion, they still need musicians to produce these stuff, right? And these people, in a sense, copyright it, but it's copyrighted to the service that you're subscribing to. So I know I had a few times with LumaFusion as well, but I had a copyright strike. So what I did was that I actually put in my description music from LumaFusion.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. I've done the same thing. They still did it.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
I've not had any of those issues with Epidemic Sound. It works great, and there's so much to pick from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
SoundCloud has great music that you can use, but I think SoundCloud. Okay, I think for the most part, if it's not a professional musician that's putting up their music, they don't really care, right? But now SoundCloud's become pretty big with like Spotify, and since I'm getting into music, so that's something that I've did a lot of research on, and I realized that if you start to put on a recording artist stuff from SoundCloud, you get a copyright strike, because that's started to kick in now with YouTube, because they realize that people are picking off music from there, right? But sorry, Kev, you were saying.
No, I just find that Epidemic Sound, like the amount, and it's really good quality stuff. There's songs in there there's songs in there I really just like. Yeah. So I've added them to my my iPod, because I like the tunes.
Yeah, there's a band called Stonekeepers that are on there. That, man, they got some great stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah, I find too I've used a few songs that are actually real songs that have words and everything, and they really work good, for the video. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. I mean, they have all the genres anyway, right? You want rock, you want jazz. They even got some cinematic stuff as well. You want a full-on orchestra. Like some of the drone videos, I actually took the full orchestra ones to put it behind, right? To get that feel. Right, of flight and everything else, and I think that's the good thing about things like Epidemic Sound and LumaFusion and Video Leap. They have heaps of stuff that you can either go by genre or by emotion, right? As you were saying, Paul, right? You can actually search crappy or sad or happy or silly, and you get a list of similar sounding stuff that could drive whatever that you want to do.
I've got a couple of favorite pieces that I end up using over and over again, but that's okay.
Oh my God!
There's one that's called The Buffoon that I use a lot.
Right. But it's your signature sound, right? So after a while, people realize that they were tired with you, which I think is good. Right? So I think it's good to have a signature sound, so at least this is Kev's stuff.
I was going to start using my stuff on the videos, but it's just such a hassle. Like I'd have to get everything uploaded from CD onto it. I can't be bothered. It's easier just to get it off the program. But and then I thought about actually writing music and recording it and then uploading it into the video. I thought, oh my God, this is going to take me forever. So I thought, take that for a joke.
I know what you mean.
I know Saddle Tramp. He he has put a couple of pieces of music in that he wrote himself. On a couple of his videos, and they're really good, and it suited it perfectly, and that's kind of neat too, because then you've got the sound and all of the video editing, and him being the actor all together.
I think Paul is right. At the end of the day, I think it's good that Settleman did that. He's obviously a musician, and I'm sure Paul as well is. And hope I am as well, in a sense. And I was thinking about that anyway. But you're right, Paul. First of all, you need your creative juices. So that's another bit of time that you need to do, right? Get your song right, then lay it down into your favorite software, then putting it out, right? An example like the one that I just put up on the most mysterious song on the internet, right? That took me about 2 weeks to put down all my parts in, and then of course clean it up, add stuff and take stuff out, Then during the 2 weeks, I was thinking that fuck it, I can't sing. Let's go and find someone who can sing, right? And the two vocalists that I knew, one was just busy and the other one was getting married, so fuck it, I could do it myself, right? So it's 2 weeks, it's 3 weeks just to get one song done. So imagine if I have a few in my head. In fact, right now I'm working with Brett Chopperfett, and we're actually doing a song, right?
Oh, yeah?
It's a cover of a song from Seether called Fine Again.
Yep.
So I've laid down most of my parts already. I'm waiting for him to practice his, and he lays his part down, and then we put it up.
If you ever need any vocals done, Fletch, hit me up. I'm happy to do them for you. Oh,
please, could you do Seether Fine Again in G major?
Okay, yeah. I'll what I'll do is I'll have a look at it on the net and have a practice and send it across. I'm happy to do it for you.
Okay, I have the backing track mostly done anyway, so I'll send you that after this.
Yeah,
right? And then
have you guys seen Pomplamoose?
No.
You should go onto YouTube and try and find Pomplamoose. They are musicians. Pomplamoose. They are musicians, and what's really interesting about them is she's a beautiful singer, like awesome, very pretty too. But it's a husband-wife team, and what they do is they make their videos and they always show all the different parts because they play all the different instruments. So sometimes, and they're very good with their video as well. So it jumps around. You see them singing, and they'll have like 4 or 5 different things going on at once. I think as musicians, you would really appreciate it because it's like what you're trying to do here. You know.
Okay.
So yeah, you might enjoy that. So you should check them out.
Yeah, I will.
What's it called again?
Pomplamoose.
Pomplamoose. Okay.
Pomplamoose, and they've also got some really good videos, like because they're quite into the video thing too, and they do some kind of cool effects and stuff, and it's really kind of neat. But anyway.
Actually, for music, the one of the videos that I watch is from a guy called I can't remember his name. He's from Sweden, I think, or Denmark. It's Frog Leap Studios. He does a lot of covers and everything else. And he's really very good, but he does all the metal versions of pop songs, right?
Oh.
But really very good as well. But he does the same thing. It's him alone doing everything, right? So he puts it all together, and I'm trying to do something similar as well. That's the other tough thing, right? Recording yourself doing all those different things and then putting it together. That's why it took me so long just to get that one song out.
Yeah, I watched a band, or they're called Hayseed Dixie.
Yes.
Have you seen them? They do AC/DC songs.
Highway to Hell.
Hillbillies.
Yeah, I saw that when I was looking for some stuff. That's so funny here.
There's a lot of that stuff out there. Guys doing different versions of stuff.
Yeah, there's another bunch. There's another group that does rock covers with accordions and clarinets and stuff.
Yeah. I think the best. I'm sure you watched the Tonight Show, right?
Yep.
And I forget the name of the host, but he's got this group called Roots. Yeah. So they have this feature which Jimmy Fallon, right? So then Jimmy Fallon and Roots with one of their special their guests on board, and whatever song is they're famous for, and they play with all the kids, you know, the kids' toys and everything else. It's so awesome. But they did Hello with Adele. My God, that was so weird, man. And they even did the Police.
Yes, they've done heaps of stuff. Have you ever seen a band called Walk Off the Earth?
No.
Man, have a look at them.
Yeah.
They will play this. I think there's 5 of them. And like, you know, Somebody That I Used to Know, that song, Somebody That I Used to Know by... Yeah. Well, the whole band plays, but on one guitar.
Oh, okay. I think that.
So you've got somebody playing the bass line, you've got somebody playing the chords, you've got somebody playing the lead, you've got somebody doing a little on the friggin' neck.
I have seen them.
They are awesome.
Yeah.
I think I've seen something like that as well. There was another which they don't seem to be putting out very much anymore, where they had this a Sia song, and she's on a bicycle, and they literally just hitting parts of the bicycle to get the song going, right? To get the tune. They literally can get a tune out of the spokes and everything else. It's so weird, but it was awesome, right?
Yeah.
And it's just all on a bicycle.
Some of that stuff's really, really clever the way they do it, you know.
Yeah.
I know, but those guys are very talented anyway, you know.
Yeah. But Walk Off the Earth. Have a look at
Walk
them.
Off
Really,
the
really
Earth.
good.
Yeah, I wrote it down. I think I've seen them though.
I've seen that one as well. That was really awesome.
Yeah, they're really, really good. Really good. And they'll do another one where somebody will be playing drums, and halfway through a drum hit, somebody else will walk in and grab the sticks and keep going, right? So it's just awesome. Yeah. The timing is awesome.
And I'm really inspired by all of that kind of thing, you know. And one of the other reasons why I talked about music and I decided to start another channel anyway, because I realized that the moment I put out that song, that video out on my channel, I lost a couple of subscribers. So obviously there's quite a few people that decided that that's not what they want to see.
Yep.
So I'm gonna move on to another channel for that anyway. Cool. But you know, I think music and now with YouTube and live streaming and everything else, well, actually more YouTube more than live streaming, is that still you have to end up video editing anyway, right? And then you have to be more creative, because then if it's yourself doing everything, then you have to be as creative as possible to be able to put all your parts in and play the entire song, right? And of course, we have the man himself, just landed on Slave One, the Mandalorian.
Here he is.
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me okay?
The Master Shagger himself.
The Master Shagger himself. There you go. Had some good ice cream, I think. You took off your... Have you had good ice cream? Yeah. Yeah. Exactly right. You know, where's your monkey suit?
Left the monkey suit at home. Oh, wait, that's where I am. So just realized I didn't charge any of my gear for this week. So got a few minutes here that I can jump in with you on the old iPhone anyway. So...
Yeah, we're basically off topic anyway. Yeah, good.
Off topic anyway. That's unacceptable, Fletch. To be off topic. There we go.
Upside down as well. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, how's dinner?
Dinner was good, man. Made some strip steaks and some corn on the grill. It was great. So.
Made some. You didn't go to a restaurant and had the full on. No?
Not with all the crap going on around here still. I'm good.
So it's Dad's backyard.
Yeah, basically. It's for the price we paid for 3 steaks, corn, and everything else was still cheaper than one person's meal here. So
yeah, I know.
So I mean the steaks that we got would have been like $20 steaks at a restaurant. We paid $7. So yeah, good stuff. But yeah. Just got home from picking up the kids, so we'll see how this goes with bedtime.
Okay, no worries, man. Okay, back on topic.
We don't know about that.
Yeah. Your bedtime. I don't want to.
My bedtime is like gone already. So.
Oh, look at
Right, back on topic. What do you use, Brett, for video editing?
I use the Filmora 9. So
the what?
Filmora 9 is what it's
Filmora
called.
9, right?
Yep.
So that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yep. I think a couple other people use it as well. I think Deluxe Chimp, I think, uses it, and I know Diesel uses it as well. Diesel Hogblog, and I guess I like it because it can be as simple as you need it to be, and as complicated as you need it to be as well. The one thing it does lack is any sort of like motion tracking, so you can't move something across and have it track on its own pathway like you can like Adobe Premieres and stuff like that. But for most of my generic vlogs that I do anyway, it's more than capable. I think I paid $60 for the license, which means I own the license to it, and then I pay additional $15 per quarter because they release like packages where you can get like new transitions and new titles, and usually if you see something new in my videos, it means they release something new that I'm trying out. So I figure for $15 a quarter, not too bad, and
it's okay.
Yeah, and it's really a pretty good to set up. Very intuitive, very easy to use. That's what I like about it, because I think I've tried like Adobe Premiere. I didn't try it. I looked at it like, that looks daunting, and then I tried Davinci Resolve, which is supposed to be like it, and that looked like it could get complicated. So I was like, I've done this for 8 months with this software. I'm just going to continue to use it. So maybe someday I'll change, but I'm a creature of habit. So
actually, Filmora Pro does everything, or most of everything, that the big boys do anyway, right? Which is one of the things that I put a link anyway.
Filmora Pro, yes. Filmora 9 does not.
Oh, okay. Yours is the basic, but I think
Pro's
you can upgrade, right?
Pro's expensive as all get out, so I think I think its license was like $300 or $400 maybe. So not as friendly, but yeah, it is what it is.
So, question: what cameras are you all using?
Did you just ask that question?
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Paul, you want to take this question first? Since it sounds like your fans are the one who wants to know.
No, I'm still using my GoPros. I'm happy.
I'm using 2 GoPro 8s. I just got the GoPro 4 back, so I might set up some extra additional shots, kind of like Paul kind of does on his lower crash bars and stuff like that, just with a couple little B-roll things. And now I'm doing my research for drones and drone cameras, which I think next spring is when I'm estimating that will happen. So
have a look at that new the Mavic Air
2.
Yep, that's where I'm leaning towards.
What's it called? The More Fly Pack or Go Fly Pack or?
Yeah, I think $100. Yeah,
the Fly More Pack.
Fly More Pack. Yeah, I think you get 3 batteries in it.
Yeah.
But their whole that new drone is. I'm going to upgrade to that one because that's an awesome bit of kit.
Yeah, like at first I was leaning towards the MAvic Mini because it was, I didn't have to register or anything like that, but when I read how easy the registration process is for the full-size drone, it's going to cost me $5. And I just abide by the recreational rules, so I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to get any sort of classes or anything like that because I'm not using it for commercial use. So at that point, it kind of made the decision easy just to save my money a little bit longer and get something that's I'm not going to outgrow.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's a good choice.
Yeah, I think it'll last for ages. That sort of thing.
Yep, and I think where I might end up buying it from, usually they give me like 24 to 36 months, 0% financing. So if I need a finance part of it, no biggie. Yep. And then a 3-year, if I crash it, replacement warranty on it as well for I think $40 or $50 extra.
Sure, that's all right.
So I'm like, okay, so if I crash it, I can just bring it in and you guys will give me a new one. Like, yep. So I'm like, all right. Put it in writing, and we'll get on that. So
they used to do that here with a brand of power tools, right? It was a full replacement warranty for 2 years, right? So what everybody used to do was, it didn't matter what it was. Everybody used to do was they get to 1 year and 11 months and just go and cut the cord and coming, the cord fell off. They just replace it for you. So you constantly had new tools. But the poor bastards, GMC it was. Yeah, mind you, the poor bastards went broke in the end, because I used to see a truck going to the tip from Bunnings. Bunnings is like a big, like a Home Depot, right? And you'd see them load up a truck, and it would just go to the tip full of GMC tools, just about to dump at the tip.
I know my dad. What's up, Bob? He not sure if he's ever rewatching any of this here today, but he told me the other day he's been getting new can openers for 10 years because if they last about a year and they have like a 2-year warranty, and so every time he gets a new one, the warranty just keeps paying for it. So basically, he gets probably close to the end of the warranty, and he just starts banging it around just so he can get a new one. So
yeah. It was the same with my son's gaming headphones. Mate, I don't know how many times we replaced those freaking gaming headphones, but he had a new pair all the time. Hello, what's happened?
Oh, he's trying to duck.
I thought he got abducted by aliens or something.
Yeah.
I hit a button there. I don't know what I did.
Oop! We lost Paul. Oh, there he is.
Ringing me. A telemarketer's trying to ring me, so cut me off.
Ah. Oh my god! And what about you, Kev?
I use a GoPro 4 Black. And I use an Akaso V50 Pro, and I use my iPhone.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what I use.
Yep. I use my iPhone a fair bit too.
Yeah.
And
I think it's the best.
I'd like to get a DSLR camera, but I'm still waiting.
What's really crazy is like the iPhone 10 and the 11, ever since they went to the 2 and 3 lenses on the back, you can get really good depth of field shots with your iPhone. So a lot of those shots that Canon people are getting, you can get that, and when you mix it into a video, it's really actually not too bad. But,
don't forget that your iPhone and everything else, in fact, all the phones are all 4K already, right?
Yep.
And I think the lenses have come to a point where it's pretty good. And if you think the cameras for lenses are shit, they have a company called Moment that produces professional lenses for your phones, which I have as well. And I realized that whenever you see me doing a talking head one, or those reviews that I did of all the motorcycles, and the beginning bit, I'm using my iPhone with a Moment lens, right? So to getting a DSLR, it's for you spending. I think the lens costs like $50 starting off. I think the most expensive one is $100.
Yep.
And it fits all the different phones. They have different lenses for different phones and stuff, and they have a case. They even have a package of $120. You get 2 lenses and a case. And really look at the quality that's coming out of your phone. So Casey Neistat, I'm sure you all have heard of Casey Neistat, right?
Yeah.
So he's always saying his thing when people keep asking him, what do you use, what tools you use, and everything else, he's always saying, well, because I do professional videos and commercials and everything else, obviously I have all the big Black Magics and stuff like that. But for the most part, he uses what he has on his hands and use what you have the best. And normally that's the phone, right? Yep. And all the time it's always on his phone. Once in a while on the GoPro, but most of the time on the phone, right? So you can do it.
Which leads me back to what I said before. It's about following him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about his gear. It's about what what you're interested in with him.
Exactly, and his stuff, even though he's supposed to be about commercials and videos and the creative stuff, actually none of his videos that he puts out is about that. No. It's always about him and his other stuff that he goes through, where he goes to, and the people he meets, and him skating down the streets of New York, and you get to see shit that's happening and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
And I think that's what makes it interesting, not what he produces. Once in a while, of course, he got a Tech Tuesday and he does the review, which he then tosses shit everywhere, right? It's like he couldn't give a flying fuck about what he's talking about anyway, right? And it's Seriously, I mean, I look forward to it and I realized that he's talking about the MAvic Mini when it first came out. So look, this piece of junk, and then he tosses the box, he even tossed the fucking thing onto his bed and shit.
I'm watching. Sorry, I'm laughing at Chopper eating his biscuit or whatever he's eating there. He's cooking.
Oh no!
I think he's going to have an orgasm.
I know.
No. See, he doesn't smoke, right? So he's just had his nookie, and for him, it's the chocolate chip cookie. That's a satisfied face there, you know.
Looks like
he's had his nookie.
It's very good chocolate chip.
And isn't that a name of a band, Sexual Chocolate?
For these things.
You know, if I was going to put a sound beat to that, that would have been like that boom chicka wah wah.
Yeah. and you have the oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sexual Chocolate sounds familiar, right? That's a band. It's from a movie, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They are delicious.
Oh my God.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about Nookie. The result of his Nookie.
Look at it.
Hey, just one thing on your iPhones. They do shoot in 4K, but just there's a setting you go into to actually give it the most amount to make sure you're always shooting in 4K. You can actually go into it.
Right.
I can't remember the way you do it, but you actually go into the phone, into the settings, into cameras, and then you actually bump it up to 4K.
Yeah.
The problem I find with the iPhone is it certainly fills up quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. That's true. But
The
you
other
can.
setting, the other thing I hate about switching it to 4K is you can't do it from inside the camera app. You actually have to go into the iPhone settings to change it. So,
Correct.
you know,
Actually, yes and no. You depends on the app that you're using, right? So because I got the Moment lenses, I got the Moment app, and the Moment app literally you can switch your resolution inside. You can actually set the color correct the log settings, right? In the GoPro you have the GoPro log or flat.
Yeah.
But actually that's a log file, LOG. So same with the drones and the this particular software, you're actually able to set the to log so that it doesn't saturate everything. It keeps everything down, so you can bring the colors out when you edit it, right? And the Moment you can edit directly from Moment anyway. So you take the video, you edit directly, and you push it out as well. So actually, there's a lot of video editing software. It's just like for me, as I said earlier, because of age and my eyesight, after like 5 minutes on the phone, my eyes get screwed, you know. So it's just too much.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna bail out of here. Let somebody else in.
All right,
Go for
man.
it, mate.
Have a
Thanks
good
for coming,
night.
Kev.
see you, Gab.
And
Have a good one, and enough with the ice cream.
My last
That's it.
shameless plug is I
Yeah.
put up a funny video today. It's the stupid questions people ask you when you're riding your motorcycle.
I saw that.
So you got to
Oh,
check
yeah.
that one out.
I saw the notification, so I'm gonna get to that right after this.
All right. Anyway, we'll see you guys.
Have a good
All
one,
right,
mate.
man. Thanks, Kev.
Bye.
Have a good one. Yeah. So Anonymous uses a GoPro 7 Black on his helmet and the GPU, the media mod off the bike, and a Mavic Air 2. He's got a Mavic Air 2, man.
Anonymous has a lot of money to play with.
I know he's the and the Canon is coming out with a Mark 50, Mark 2 version.
That's why
right?
they're really dropping the price of the M50 that's out right now. I think you can get the vlogger kit for like $600, and it used to be
That's
about
cheap.
1,000 to 12,000 or 1,200 at one point. So
Well, that's not bad. But again, do we need it? I mean, I have a DSLR, but at the end of the day, I hardly use it anyway.
Yeah.
Right? I either use my point and shoot or my phone if it's talking head or stuff like this, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So I don't know if I want
mean,
to spend that kind of money.
I mean, I was looking at one for like the webcam because it's like, oh wow, it's really good depth of field on webcam. I'm like, well, this isn't really the bulk of our channels. Isn't really these live streams. So I'm like, it's just going to be something else I'd have to take in a backpack. I'm like, I think I'd rather have something that gives me a shot that a very few percentage people will get with a drone. I mean, so if you think about it, most people, maybe 5% of vloggers actually utilize a drone footage. So I think that would be better use for me putting in a backpack than just keep toting around a DSLR anyway.
That's how big the pack is for the drone.
Oh, see, that would fit perfect in my tunnel bag. So
yeah, so they're only small, very small.
Cool.
And in that you got 3 batteries.
Yep.
Your controller. It's cool.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea with the Mavic Air, and I think I should have gone with the Mavic Air. I was stupid enough to get a Mavic Air, Mavic 2 Pro, right? Which, it was the most excellent drone I ever had, right? It's very stable. I could take it out to 3 kilometers out and know it was going to come back, and no cutoff on feed and everything else. But it's a bastard to put into your saddlebags because it's huge. It's about, just the drone itself is about this huge.
Yeah.
Right. Then you got the batteries and the bullshit and everything else, right? That you need to bring along. Then it's almost like 1/3 of your backpack already, right? So that's why I went for the Mini anyway. But I think again the Mini was not a well, it's hindsight now. I should have gone for the. I just should have waited and gotten the Air 2.
Yeah.
Anyway. I know it's probably delivery or something. Yeah, my doggy going bananas.
Does it have internal memory built in? Because I know that Air 2 does. So
yes, it does. It does. It comes with 8.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It comes with 8 GB. I think that's standard for all DJIs. Those that has inbuilt memories, it will have about 8 GB, which is good enough. You forget your thing. 8 GB actually, you can have about 20-30 minutes of recording time. So it's good enough.
And that's what most people say. It's like half the time I forget to bring my memory card out anyway. So I'm like, that's one additional thing to do. I'll get out like an hour ride out. It's like a nice big prairie feel, and then I forget my memory card. So at that
I'll
point,
just leave it in there.
Chuck the drone.
I'll just leave it in the drone.
Here's a funny thing about exactly. And to me, the thing about DJI products is they're robust. They're not a toy, right? Even though the Mini seems like a toy, I crashed it a couple of times because it's got no. And that's the other thing that you should never get a Mini for. If you're the sort that if you like Paul and myself, we've been flying a lot of drones, and we tend to get a little bit reckless. But the thing with the it's true. Like we're trying to do some stunt or something, right?
Oh,
we're trying to do a few stunts and shit, get between the trees and do some interesting shots. The one thing it doesn't have, the Mavic Mini, is obstacle avoidance.
Yep.
Right? So the Air comes with full 360, and the rest of the others do. Even the Spark, the first one that ever came out, actually has some obstacle. This fucking Mini doesn't have anything. Right? So I was putting it through the trees. And then at the last minute, I realized that there's a branch and boom, it hits. So but it's sturdy. I mean, and it was of a pretty good height, off the top of the tree, and it just came crashing down, and it's still powered up and flew. Right, and I think I crashed it 3 times already.
The funniest thing I did was I was filming this waterfall, right? Anyway, I've got it down there, and all of a sudden I've got the obstacle, the warning thing coming up, right? So I'm going left, there's a warning thing coming. I'm going right, there's a warning. I'm going up, there's a warning. I'm going down, there's a warning. What the fuck? Am I in a box? What the fuck am I? Right? and I'm slowly turning it around, trying to see where the fuck this drone is and what I'm going to hit. And do you think I could find any? Like, I just could not find where the hell I was, right? And I'm sitting there going, what do I do here? What the hell do I do here, right? Because I knew I was in the middle of trees, and if I dropped it there, man, it's just going straight in the drink. Right, so I've got a couple of kids coming here. Can I have a look, mister? Can I have a look now? Piss off, I'm trying.
Get back my fucking drone.
Exactly. So anyway, after much trial and error, I finally sort of backed it out of there somehow and got it out. Oh man, what a nightmare!
Well, thank God for that, right?
Yeah, because all I was thinking was, here goes a couple of grand up in smoke. We're just about to freaking dump this thing straight under a waterfall.
Exactly.
As the DJI Osmo, is it made by the same company? I'm assuming it's
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I just put the 2 and 2 together the other day. I'm like, I think that's the same company. I don't have any experience with those yet, so
they're pretty good, actually.
I think they have that Rock Steady, which is like their hyper smooth or whatever. But
the Osmo, are you talking about the Osmo Action or the Osmo Pocket? The action cam that looks like GoPro, right?
Right.
Yeah. So the GoPro looking one is very good. In fact, who's the guy? Oak Leaf Moto right? The guy from Sweden. Oh yeah, and the gimbal. That's a DJI one
They're
as well.
good. Yeah, they're good too.
I had that as well. Yeah, so he uses it instead of, he doesn't have a GoPro. He uses the Osmo Action. So it's actually very smooth, very solid. It works just as well. So I mean, in the market, there's basically the GoPros. You have the Osmo Action and Insta360. Right.
Yep.
These are the basic three ones that you have out in the market, and they do fairly well. The Insta360 at the moment, the new one, the Insta360, whatever it's called, the new one.
1R.
The 1R, yeah, okay. The 1R has a module for the 4K and everything else, but you know the bastard is that you need an adapter for audio.
Yeah.
Right. If you rely on its inbuilt microphones, it really isn't very good for putting it on the bike because it picks up a lot of wind noise, unlike the GoPro.
They have made a adapter thing that you could put on, kind of like the adapter kit for GoPros, like 7 and stuff.
Yeah.
Where you can actually plug in. I think it's into the USB-C, and you can either plug directly into it, or you can do a Rode mic or something like that. But I haven't. That's just where I experienced it from my dad's usage with it. But I think right now he's just basically using his Sena, and he's recording it to his phone, and then he's just dubbing it basically. So.
Yeah. No, I'm still waiting for the adapter. I put in an order for it about 3 months ago, and I'm still waiting on it. Probably stuck with COVID in China.
Oh man, don't ever talk about it.
Right.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a kid to bed, guys. I will get back in a little bit.
All right, no worries, man. No worries. Hey guys, if you're still out there, I'll put a link in the chat. Come on in. Let's talk about how to go broke on YouTube.
We're professionals at it.
That's true. I mean, okay, honestly, the shit I buy is not specifically for YouTube. I mean, I'm sure it's the same with you as well, right?
Yeah.
We got the GoPro because we wanted to make sure that we can record our journeys, getting the other stuff as well. The drone, anyway, is more a hobby than about YouTube, but it's great to be able to put it together.
I actually bought the drone for work because you know how I got a landscape, right? So I did it for doing like Instagram sort of ad things, like, you know, especially for our big projects, because it gives you like when we do schools and stuff, it's hard to get a good perspective with just a photo shot. But you know, if you can do a flyover and stuff, it's man, it looks awesome. You know, especially pools and that. When we do pools, if you do a flyover with a pool, it looks awesome.
I know, exactly. Really so I think it's a good tool. In your case, it's for work as well, and I think it's important. I think the reason why I got a drone as well is about the perspective, right? Yep. To be, you can tell people what a wonderful place it is. You can snap as much pictures as you want. Even on a 360, you're still ground level.
Yep.
But the moment you take it up, and then you see from up there where you guys are and the bikes are right at the top of the mountain, for instance.
Yeah.
I think that's so awesome, right? I think you did one as well, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, I did. And that's the other thing, you know, it's perspective, because you sit there, you're trying to convey, oh man, this looks awesome, but it never looks as awesome from a camera. You know what I mean? But when you give that all of a sudden that different perspective from, you know, up behind you or out in front of you, or when you're taking away from a cliff, and you're there, and everyone goes, oh wow, look at that. You know what I mean? That's what gives you the perspective. That's what gives you the wow factor. You know, you're sort of bringing people into what you can see. You see, a lot of again. I'll go back to Itchy Boots. You know, when she was going through some of those areas. Yeah, they are a game changer. When she goes some of those areas of in Chile, I think it was, or somewhere in South America. Anyway, it looked absolutely amazing around Afghanistan and that. Yeah, it looked unbelievably good. And you're right, Anonymous. It completely changes your videos completely. That trip I did up to Bright, we went to Mount Buffalo. We went to Lake Katana on the top there. My God, it just even I thought, wow, how good does that look? Because like even standing on the lake, you don't get that same perspective. And when it was glassy, and there was one point there we actually couldn't tell the difference between the sky and the lake.
And the
you
light,
think,
right? Yeah.
holy crap, how good does this look? You know. And it was even with me and my mate Phil, and we were looking back over it, like straight away. He goes, "Fuck! I didn't realize it looked that good," you know. And that's what looks awesome. And you know, trying to get up to where those big waterfalls and that were, it just looks unreal.
I know.
And the
I think. Sorry.
Mate, good. Go.
Yeah, no, I think what helps the drone a lot, and I think there's quite a number, and I can't remember the name of the YouTube videos and all that. There's a couple of bikers that I watch, and again, they're not putting out anymore. I think for whatever reason, or maybe my notifications not being sent out. They literally go out and to different parts of the world and different parts of the country, and try out these different highways and scenic routes, and then because they have a whole crew with them, so you literally get that. I saw this one episode with them on the Big Sur, right in California, right. So literally the roads are off the cliff. And you can see the drone just coming in and the both of them riding.
Yep.
And it's so beautiful, right? They just want to go there.
Yeah, exactly. It makes you want to go
right.
there.
Yeah. So I think that's what to me draws the drone and the drone footage and everything else. And as much as possible, why I just got it. And unfortunately with this fucking lockdown, I can't do any more of these kind of bloody videos.
Yeah, I'm the same. We're in a 6-week complete lockdown at the moment. We're only allowed out for 1 hour a day. That's it.
Okay, we're a bit better now. I think they've opened up and stuff, but they still try. I mean, if you go out, it's got to be no more than 5 people. You know, if they find that you breached it, they're gonna fine you and shit. So I think it's really not worth going out anyway.
Yeah, well, we're only allowed to have one person out of the house at any one time at the moment.
Oh shit, that's major.
Yeah.
Fuck me, man.
Yeah. One person for 1 hour. You go shopping, only one person for 1 hour. No, not even 1 hour. You go in and come out, but you're only out of the house for 1 hour. That's it.
Oh,
it's a nightmare.
Man.
Nightmare.
That's insane. I'll die.
Yeah,
you know. At least we.
It's shit.
Tough. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully things.
Yeah. No, I can't wait it gets better, but I can't wait. Once we get out of this thing, there's a place up near Horsham here called the Pink Lake, and the water is actually pink. It's got it's got salt and a certain bacteria that turns it pink. It's a really big spot for a lot of the tourists to come across. But I can't wait to get up there, especially early morning or late afternoon, and fly the drone out low over
across
it.
Right?
I just saw an anonymous biker put a drone shot flying low up a river in sport boat. It's epic, and he's 100% right. If you can fly low over water, man, it looks freaking grouse. And then you get to the end of it and you raise up quickly and just give an overall view. It looks wicked. It looks wicked.
I know. That's exactly it. And I mean, like I said, I was looking forward to our trip because then I could take you from where you are up the mountain to there's this restaurant they have right before coming down to Patong in Phuket.
Yep.
I think you know it, right?
Yeah.
So we could go up there. Oh. And this restaurant's overlooking the cliff, right? And they can fly off of fucking drones and show people what that restaurant looks like.
Oh yeah,
man, awesome, man.
There's another place like that in Cowlack called Fu View, I think it's called PHU View.
I heard of that.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. You're up on a cliff. You actually can't get up there. They actually meet you in a 4-wheel drive down below, and you jump in the back of this 4-wheel drive, and they drive you up to this restaurant. But the view there, looking out over Cowlack, same thing. If you flew the drone out over there, oh man, just spectacular.
Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
There's this place in Thailand I like to go to. It's called Batong, which is on the border of Malaysia and Thailand, right? It's on the east coast, and they also have a pretty high mountain to get up, and the last portion of it, which is the peak, you have to take a 4-wheel drive to get up there. You can't ride your bike; it's impossible. In the gravel and shit, right? And that's what I wanted to do again this year, and then
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fletch, if you saw Eli and I hired a scooter, right? Just a little 125 scooter, right? And we're looking for this waterfall. It was the funniest thing you've ever seen, right? Anyway, you know what Thailand's like? Like some places got signs, some places haven't got signs. So we're looking for this. We're looking for this sign anyway. Couldn't find it. Anyway. I thought it's just this one little handwritten sign that said waterfall. I go, this must be it, right? So here on this scooter. Anyway. Talk about gravel road. My God, mate. These pebbles were like this, right? On a scooter. Scooter wheels are about that big anyway, right? So we're going up this, Eli and I are on this scooter, going up this mountain trying to find this waterfall, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And Ellen's going, surely it can't be this far, right? And I'm not one to. I want to get there, right? So I'm going, no, it's got to be here. It's got to be here. And in the end, I've got both feet on the ground, and we're sort of going up this hill, trying. In the end, I go, you know what? This is just getting all too hard. Well, that's all well and good, but try and turn the bike around. Yeah, when you're on a hill like that with rocks like this, it was a fair dinkum goat track, right? So finally got around. But by the time we got back down, oh my God, my ass and Elaine's ass nearly around our freaking necks. You know, it was just shocking.
I know what you mean. I mean, I think there's a lot of mountain ranges in Thailand. And I can't remember whether it's Koh Samui or so the other places that we're at, and they wouldn't allow your motorcycle. I mean, it's really bad to go on a motorcycle. So I said, okay, don't use your motorcycle, take this. And then they give you this fucking scooter. So I was thinking, if my fucking bike can't get up there, what the fuck am I using the scooter for, right? So fuck off. So I asked them, how far is it up to the top, right? Then the guy goes, 100 meters. And then, fuck it, I walk.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not good. If I can't take my bike up, fuck me with a scooter, I get killed on the scooter or something.
Oh, yeah,
man, these guys.
So we went to another place called Khao Sok National Park. That would be a place to fly a drone. My God, it's awesome. Yeah. Anyway, part of it was to go on this a jungle walk, right, where you go this to a bamboo raft canoe, right? Anyway, and Elaine goes, "Oh, look, I'm not going to do the walk. Would you just go?" And I said, "How long is the walk?" "Oh, it's not that long. Maybe half an hour, 40 minutes." I go, "Oh, I'll do it." Right. Fletch, 3 hours later, we're still traversing through the jungle, right? Sweating buckets, right? Thinking, where the fuck are we going, right? Anyway, the track was about this wide. It was terrible, right? And I knew I was in trouble when I got to the top of the hill, and the woman gave me a stick. She goes, "Here, you take the stick, right, to balance with." Anyway, we're walking down this frigging thing, slipping and sliding. Oh my God! Anyway, when we finally got to this bamboo raft. And so we were on this bamboo raft, and they take us to this. Was supposed to be this some sort of cave, which was had stalactites and everything. I'm thinking, oh yeah, okay. And we got into the cave. Well, it was already like probably 40 degrees outside. We got in the cave. I reckon it must have been 55 in the cave, right, with about 110% humidity. It was just wet, right. Anyway, and I'm thinking, what the hell am I doing in this joint? It was just, it was good, but never again. I go, man. 40-minute walk, my ass. 4 hours later, when we got back, he goes, "Where the hell you been?" I go, "Oh, if you knew where we went, far out."
I know, and that's the thing, it's funny. I think their sense of direction and their sense of distance is all fucked in Thailand.
Oh yeah.
They say, "Oh, down that way." Oh, 5 minutes, right? And you're fucking walking for hours trying to get there, and then fucking don't even get where you're supposed to be going, and they I think or maybe it's because when I'm there in Thailand, it's always the big festivals. Everybody's fucked out of their minds, and you try to get direction from them, and they in their mind they're telling you left, but actually they mean right, and they're fucked out of their minds anyway, and then you end up in some fucking place other than where you're supposed to be going.
Shit. Mate, that's happened to me quite a few times over there. It's like, where the hell am I going?
Exactly, and the worst part is that if you're in Phuket or Bangkok or some of the big towns, you still get some form of signal, right? Yeah. If you go to Batong and Koh Samui and some other place, fucking is zero. GPS is out the window, right? So you want to go somewhere, you don't trust this guy, and you get no signal, you're fucked, right? Oh my God, that's the worst, man.
Well, the funniest was we went to the first time we ever went to Phuket. So we went there and we had like a driver, because we were like we were miles from Phuket. So we'll go for the day. So the guy picked us up about 8:30 in the morning, and we got back at about midnight. Anyway, and so we're there and we're driving around and around. And Eli goes, "Oh, I'm busting to go to the toilet." She goes, "I've got to go to the toilet, right?" Anyway, so we get there and the guy goes, I said, "Look, toilet." He goes, "Oh," and he's driving around, couldn't find a toilet anyway, right? So in the end, we go into this monastery, right?
Oh, God.
We go into this monastery. mates, come. So there's a monk there, right? Elaine goes, you sure? Yeah. So we go to this monastery. The monk takes Elaine to this toilet, right? Loose terms toilet.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get to this. She goes in there and it comes back out, and we get back in the car. We go out, and we're laughing. I go, I can't believe we just went to some monk's house to go to the toilet. It was the funniest thing ever.
I know, it's so weird, right? And there's a funny thing about Phuket and Thailand is so weird, man. And I think their road systems are fucked as well, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you've been to Phuket. You've been to Nikki's Handlebar.
Yep.
Right. And to get from there, if you've never been there and you decide to take a tuk-tuk to Bangla, right? And you know where that is, right?
Yeah.
So the guy with because of the way the road system is, it takes about half an hour to get there. Then later on, you realize it's 10 minutes walk.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And you realize that the way they design the roads and the direction and everything else, and you wonder why it takes so fucking long to get there. And it's the same thing when we're getting into Phuket on our bikes. We are turning left and turning right based on the GPS, right? Trying to get to Nikki's Handlebar, and we realized that when we got off the road, the highway, and off the mountain into Patong, it's just a straight shot. Yeah. But then again, the one-way road is going the other way, right? So we had to go around. So it took us about half an hour, 45 minutes after that. But actually, it's about a 10-minute walk from where we were when we got off the highway.
Well, what's like that? Sydney's like that. Sydney, Australia's like that. You'll go from 2 ways to 1 way, right? And then what happens is like I remember I had to go to, I think it was Glebe or somewhere. I can't remember where I had to go, but I kept missing this turn off, right? And what happens is when you miss the turn off, you're going, right? So I went over the Harbour Bridge, I reckon 4 times before I hit the right turn off, right? And I was on the phone to somebody and I'm screaming, I go, if I go over this fucking Harbour Bridge one more time,
I'm fucking going home.
That's it. I'm done with the Harbour Bridge. Like, it's all right once, but when you go there the 4th time, right? And the worst thing about the Harbour Bridge is you've got 2 middle lanes, then you've got like a barrier, then you've got two outer lanes. So if you miss and you happen to be on the inner lanes rather than the outer lanes, bad luck, baby. You're going, right? You're not getting off.
Oh, man. I don't know. It's so weird, man.
Yeah, but Sydney's very much like that. Very much like it goes from 2 way to 1 way, and then you're stuck.
Yeah. Oh, man, it's unbelievable. But, the stories we can tell just going to different places and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
I think Malaysia is the same way. I don't know if you've been to KL, Kuala Lumpur.
No, I haven't been there, no.
You think that in the big city that everything's going to be organized, and the thing with Malaysians is that you can't even depend on the GPS because it doesn't get updated fast enough for the shit that they do, right? A 2-way road becomes 1 way. Suddenly, the exit to the highway that you're going to get off suddenly gets fucking closed. And it's like, oh shit, now you're fucked, because then you can't get out of this fucking city. That's so strange, man.
You should try the outback of Australia, man.
Never been, but want to.
Oh, we got. So I've got friends of ours got a place called Quilpie, which is in Western Queensland, right? So it's like the Wild West out there, like big time. And they to go anywhere there, like you say, how far is it to go to such and such? Oh, a couple of hours. Well, if the size of this farm, it's a 2.5 hour drive from the front gate to the back gate, right? So that gives you an idea how big it is, right? Wow. It's massive, right? And we went to a place called Hellhole Gorge, okay?
Hellhole Gorge.
Yeah, Hellhole Gorge, right? Now, Hellhole Gorge, to get there, is probably a 4 hour 4-wheel drive trip. You can't do it on a car, and you need 4x4. And you heading out there. And I said to the guy, how far is it to go to? He goes, a couple of hours, right? Okay. Anyway, 4 hours later, we are still going, right? But you get and you're literally like walking the thing down rocks to try and get to wherever you got to get to.
Yeah.
And finally, you get there and it opens up and you got this like oasis, right? Which is like it's got like a waterfall for.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Bye, Paul.
Reception. Yeah. Yeah, I know what it means. There's some parts of Australia. Well, I mean, Australia is a big country, right? And you have a lot of. Are you there, mate?
I'm here, but I can't. For some reason, it cut me off.
Hey,
It cut me off for some reason. Where are we?
You're in the dark.
yeah, your
I'm in the
phone's
dark.
gone portrait. Yeah, you're in the dark. You want to try and come back in?
Yeah, I'll come out. I'll come back in.
All right. Okay. I'll put a link there anyway. So yeah, hopefully. Anyway, so dinner was good.
Excellent, man. It was awesome. Just bloody enough.
Yeah, that's good. You know. Yeah, we all need to get out from some time. There we are.
Back.
All right.
Yeah, so this
Like
thing
the
opens
Terminator.
up. Yeah, so this thing opens up into this like beautiful big waterfalls into this massive canyon, and where they're catching fish. Oh, just an amazing place. But yeah, you don't realise how much you need GPSs till you get to the Australian outback, because there is nothing marked out there. Like, there is no road signs. There's no, everything looks the same. You know, and you're talking, you know, from town to town, it might be up to 6 hours. You know what I mean? Driving. So but that's you definitely need GPS out there. You just could not get around without it. It is massive.
I mean, imagine my friend and myself, we did the trip to Australia, and we did the trip across the Nullarbor.
Yes.
Right. So we did from Perth to Sydney, and you would think that you had. I thought I would know what open country is like, right? Until you're on the fucking Nullarbor, and thank God, you know, in those days there was no GPS. I had a GPS, but it's one of those the first Garmin's that first came out, right? And if you're middle of nowhere with no fucking and when you hit the desert, it's fucking flat and you got nothing else.
Yep.
Right. No points of interest and anything.
No
else.
reference point.
And no reference point, right? And you're thinking, "Fuck, where am I? Where's the next roadhouse or the next stop?"
Yep.
Right. You're looking at the map. It's fuck all. The map is useless, right? And you realize what open country is, and the GPS is also fucking useless, right?
They call that the land of 3 S's out there. Sand, shit, and sore eyes.
Oh, it's yeah, that's true. That's true. It was an experience, but I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, from point A to point B and across the Nullarbor, literally, it's like you're talking about hundreds of kilometers between each point. And luckily enough, we were riding bikes, I think, that had a good capacity anyway and petrol. So it wasn't so bad. But we played it safe, right? Because we didn't know where the fuck we were going.
Yep.
So the first stop we just stopped and topped up petrol. We just want to take a chance.
You're best off
You can't.
Nobody understands how ridiculously big Australia is until they get out to the places like that. Everybody goes, "Oh yeah, I could," but you just don't get it. No, you can't. You can't convey how big the joint is until you get out there. When you think, "Oh my god, there's just nothing here. It's just ridiculously big."
Wide open spaces, right? I mean, even if you travel, I've been to United States and I've been to Europe, and you still see houses and shit along the way. Even on your highway, you can still see stuff and everything else.
Yep.
Nothing on the desert, man. Fucking nothing.
No. Look, I've been, everybody talks about Texas. I've been to Texas, and I was expecting Texas to be similar, but it's not.
No,
it's just not. You still see people. You still see roadhouses. You still see towns. You still see houses. You do not say you just don't see anything out there. Just nothing. And
to the right, to the left, fucking desert. That's it.
Yeah. Like I said, those big cattle properties out there, you're talking 2 and 3 million acres, right? Which is just nuts. When you think about it, like I said, this the place that we were on at the time was 2.5 hours from the front gate to the back gate. Jesus. And that's not just driving 40 k's an hour. It's driving 100 k's an hour.
Amazing, right?
Yeah, it's nuts.
I can't imagine anyway. You know, I mean, I can actually, considering that I did that a long time ago. But I mean, yeah, people don't realize when they talk about open roads, that really is the open road.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I didn't experience that.
Yeah, you got to the Northern Territory. Like, you can go. You can. There's a highway called the Gun Barrel Highway.
Oh yeah, I heard of that. Yeah,
yeah. Well, that there is absolutely dead straight. I think it's for 280 k's or something. It's dead straight. It goes from goes out to Cobar, which is like a iron ore sort of town.
Yeah.
You can literally set your cruise control, and if there wasn't the fact there's kangaroos there, you could actually put your seat back and just go to sleep and just end up in the. You won't hit anything. There's just nothing there.
Yeah. I know,
nuts.
it's amazing, right?
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's sights that we don't get to see anywhere else. So you think that you want to get to the open roads, and that's what you really want to experience, right? Like I said, I traveled a little bit in the United States.
Yep.
In Europe, it's the Autobahn, and you think the Autobahn is supposed to be the open roads and shit, right? You still see a lot of fucking restaurants on the sides and stuff, you know, and there's people on the roads and shit. So it's just to me was a huge culture shock, because I did my stint in Europe in the late 80s.
Yep.
And in 95 is when I decided to do the trip across the Nullarbor.
Yep.
What a big fucking difference that was. Jesus. And never seen so much sunshine in my life as well. Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
it gets hot out there, man.
Oh, my God. We started off with jackets, and we just like throwing stuff back into our bags and shit. And we were literally doing the Easy Rider shit, you know, after a while. It's just helmet and fucking T-shirts. Fuck it.
Yeah, no, it's nuts hot out there. I've been out there when it's been like 47, 48 degrees.
Yeah.
And
that's insane.
You're thinking, oh my God, this is killing me here.
I'm gonna die, right? Fuck.
But I'll tell you, the funny thing was, my wife, Elaine's from Malta.
Right.
You know, we all know how small Malta is. It's tiny, right?
Yeah.
And when she was over there, like, there's people going, well, we're going to take you to the big road, you know? She goes, oh, what's this big road? She goes, oh, yeah, you wait till you see how big this road is. Let's go to the big road. Well, the big road was an ex English airstrip from the Second World War, right? So it ain't that big.
No.
Anyway, she goes, what? This is it? This is. She goes, man, the Tullamarine Freeway is like 4 times the size of this thing. We go on it every day of the week. Yeah, they just so such a difference. And she was going to go from one side of the island to the other, and Arnie's going, "Oh, you can't go by yourself. You're going to get lost." She goes, "How am I going to get lost?" She goes, I mean, the whole thing's, I think it's 22 kilometers across, and I think 11 kilometers wide or something. It's tiny, right? She goes, "Even if I get lost, I'll get back. You know, it's not like I'm going to get lost anywhere."
Imagine if they came across to Australia and they fucking get lost.
Yeah, well, that's the thing now, because everybody over there knows each other, right? From a small place like that, and they like when Elaine was over there, she goes, "Oh, do you know my cousin in Sydney? Sydney's 13 hours drive from where I am. No, I don't know them, you know." And it's just people's perspective on they just can't get their head around it.
Exactly, I think it's just so different, right? But I think one of the other trips I wanted to do was this Bhutan thing. You know, I'm sure you've heard about it, right?
Yes.
And you're on Royal Enfield up in the Himalayas, right? I think that's something to be done. But I tell you something though, this guy's got balls of steel, man. Some of the roads that they were riding, shit. I was watching a video of my friend who went up there. They did it 2 years ago.
Yep.
And Jesus, I don't think they were riding on roads. It's like gravel pits and sand pits and shit, you know. And then they were doing this road between the mountains, right? I don't think it was even a road, and you could literally, as you ride, you could just look off to the side, and you know you're gonna fall over if you don't watch it.
Oh yeah.
That's so insane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have balls of steel.
A lot of those roads have washouts and God knows what on them.
Yeah. And they were doing it anyway. And okay, Bhutan and that area, they don't suffer from rainfall and shit so much as the cold, right? It gets really cold there. So this guy's all bundled up on the fucking Royal Enfield of all things, right? There's 350s, right? The bullet.
Yep.
Oh, fuck me. And I'm thinking like if we're on our bikes, we'd be fucking dead.
Yeah.
And then we're riding these fucking bullets, right? I don't know, Brett, if you've seen the Royal Enfield Bullet,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think it has no suspension. I think
Is
at
that the
all.
one with like the basically no rear fender on the back?
By the time they get through with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Normally it's fucked. The bike's completely. It's been there and done that. It's practically got no suspension. It's got tires about this thick. It's not so thin. Oh my god, I don't understand. But I think it's an adventure anyway, right? You would think they'll take a GS.
They're made in India now, those bikes, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
All the Royal Enfields are made in England, in India, I think, except for the new one called the Himalayan.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's
That's
650 or something.
That's the one that Itchy Boots uses.
Yeah. So that one's, I think, still made in England, but the rest are all done in India. It's basically an Indian bike anyway.
I think you watching Two Chopper, $1 Million Boat. Did you see the one where he rode through India?
Yeah, on the Sportster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, that'd be an experience riding through India, man.
I mean, the riding, but then I think what's even worse was just the accommodations he was staying.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's nothing. It's just like you stay at like a male hostel, and you pray that you wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a place you're ever going to get sick from food poisoning, that's the place.
Yeah. The Delhi Belly.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called the Delhi Belly. Shit.
No, I copped it in Thailand once. Fuck.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh man.
I kind of know where to go and eat in. I've never had it in Thailand, but I've had that in Indonesia.
Yep.
And the problem with it, and it's not because the food is bad and everything else, but they fucking love their chili.
Yeah.
Right. And the chili that they have is, I think, nuclear or something.
Yeah.
Fuck. And even when you go to McDonald's, they serve their brand of chili and not ketchup and shit.
Yeah.
And you thought, oh, okay, let's try it. Just a little dip, and you think that you're gonna die.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I felt like as if I was gonna die, and I was fucked after that.
No, we ate squid, and don't ask me why the hell I did. I actually saw the squid. I mean, how fucking stupid would you have to be, right? So I actually saw the squid out in the sun, right? And then we went to eat there, and I thought, I'll have the squid. Right? Anyway, so about 2:00 in the morning, both Elaine and I woke up and go, oh, Jesus! And it's like it's nothing like it's coming out both ends, and you got no.
No good.
Elaine was in the toilet, and they had an outdoor shower, mate. All I could do was back my ass up against the wall and let rip and just have the shower running because fuck, it was volcanic. It was fucking volcanic, man. Like, it was shocking. I've never had anything like it. Oh my god, so sick.
Oh no, I know what you mean.
Oh,
been there, done that.
Oh,
been there, done that.
Terrible.
No, but you see, the problem with India and a few other places is that these people are used to those conditions, right?
Correct.
People like us, everything's clean, everything's hygienic. Even we poo-poo at some of the shit that here in Asia, right? And we think, oh, that's fucking dirty. That's still fucking clean compared to the shit they have over there, right? If you see the roadside stalls, oh my god, it's like you've been to hell, It's like the shit that they're serving. So I was in India for a while, and I only ate at the hotel. Yep. That's it. I couldn't try any. The friends were telling me, "Oh, come on, you got to try this and try that." I said, "No, fuck off! I don't want to die." Go ahead if you want to, but I'm not. I've had experience already with Indonesia, and this is like Jakarta, the big cities, right? Yep. You would think in the smaller places and Bali and shit, you'd be concerned about the roadside stores and coffee shops, but it's insane to eat off the roadside stores, and India is one of them.
Yeah, I don't know if you know the famous cricketer, Shane Warne. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's like a famous cricketer, right? And he when he went to India, when he was playing in India, he actually imported. It was a big story. He imported Heinz baked beans, like a whole shit ton of cans and frozen pizzas into India, and that's all he ate the whole time he was there, with baked beans on toast and frozen pizza.
Oh my god!
He said, "No, I'm not eating that shit. Forget it."
Oh, hotels are pretty safe, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, and I was there in the early 90s, so it wasn't so bad. I was there for a few days for some fucking conference or other. But other than that, I think this funny thing is Asia, right? That you had that problem with. I think I've never had that problem in Australia. I've never had that problem in the United States, and some parts of Europe as well. Because Europe also, you have some of the, if you do travel a little bit, Italy and all that, the little small dinky towns and shit, it's still pretty clean.
Yeah.
I just don't understand some parts of Thailand and Indonesia and fucking India. I mean, I'm not looking down on them, but I think it's their lifestyle and they're used to it. Their body's gotten, used to eating that kind of stuff, and we just can't take it, right?
I think they still get crook because a mate of mine was over there. He was in special forces, and he spent a lot of time over in Thailand and what's the border with Burma and all that,
Burma,
all through there, yeah. And he was saying that even the villagers that they still get sick. He goes, it's just, but they just factor into everyday life. So yeah, he's not coming. he ain't coming in today. He's on the shitter. So it's just. But he was telling me some of the stuff that they were eating over there. Oh man, forget that. No way.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I consider myself fairly adventurous, but there are certain things that I just will not try.
Yeah,
just because I know, not because I don't want to try it, but it's just I don't want to spend the rest of my life sitting on a john or on the shitter, right?
Oh, that, and like, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be eating tarantulas and crickets and.
Oh yeah, no.
Fuck that. Like, yeah, that's what God invented cows for and chickens and.
Exactly right, and shit. It's like when I went to Philippines, was it last year before COVID? Yeah, just before Christmas, I had to be there for 2 weeks, for some project or other, and so I met the locals there, and then they decided, oh, let's go for dinner. I said, yeah, fine. You know, the Filipino food's quite okay. Most of the restaurants look pretty good and all that. Then they brought me to this place that they were serving this. You know, have you heard of balut?
No.
No, it's this fucking egg, right? That they cook, and then when you chop it off, it's an almost fully grown chick inside.
Oh yes, I have heard. Oh no, I saw that. I have heard.
Oh my god! I was thinking, okay, let's try something. When they did that, and they brought it to my plate. I nearly puked. I was like, okay, no offense to you guys. If it's not fully grown and killed and deep fried, I'm not having it out of the egg. Oh, it's a fucking, and I don't know how they did it. And the fucking egg is this big, right? You know, normally our eggs are pretty okay, right? We make omelets and shit out of it. So it's this big fucking white egg, and they just lop off the top, and you would think that, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to eat raw egg or something, right?
Yeah.
They lop off, and the fucking chicken is almost fully grown inside.
Oh no.
Oh god, and it's cooked. Oh fuck. You know, I never understood that. And I was like, okay, that fucked my Christmas up. It was just before Christmas Eve. I was flying off the next day, so decided to have a dinner. It's like, okay, fuck me, man. I'll never look at an egg the same way again.
Mate, I went off eggs for a while. We were up that place I was telling you about up in Quilpie.
Yeah.
And you get the big emu eggs, right? Now they're about that big.
Oh yeah,
right? They're huge. Yeah. And you crack them open, and it's like a massive omelette, right? Anyway, we had a couple and cracked them and broken them up. And anyway, got the third one, cracked it, and half a chick came out. And everybody goes, "Oh, that's it."
Oh,
not eating it.
Oh. Yeah, I know. Oh shit. Talking about foreign food and stuff, weird stuff. I mean, I think that was the worst for me. That little thing there.
Oh yeah, no.
The rest, to me, the other countries you go to, I mean, even they say weird, it still isn't that very weird.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm looking at the private. Yeah, so it isn't so bad. Brett had to go off because his phone just died on him.
Yep, no worries.
Say the phone up. Yeah, so yeah, those are the interesting adventures. I mean, in Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, you don't get anything weird, I think. It's just more chilly than anything else.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I've never had anything weird in any of these countries.
And in Thailand, the south is a lot spicier than the north.
Yeah, I know, and that's where we always end up anyway,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it's Singapore to the border is already about 1,000 kilometers.
Yep.
So we end up doing that leg and then stopping for the night.
Yep.
And then we realize that, oh God, it's like everything's super spicy.
Oh yeah.
You know, I have to tell them that, okay, look, if I'm ordering this, either no chili or a little chili, and then they give you a look, right? They say, no taste, no good.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't want to die. You know, I'm on the road on the bike. The last thing I need to do is get off the bike and shit off the road. Something like that. That's crazy.
When we were there a couple of years ago, I said, I want to go to a proper, real traditional Thai restaurant. You know. Mm-hmm. Anyway, they organised for one of the guys who now is one of my good friends. B as his nickname, and he took us there, right? Anyway,
right.
Fletch, fuck, I've never had hot food like that. Man, I don't mind hot food, but this was fucking atomic. Like, it was just, they had tom yum soup, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It was like, it took your breath away. It actually took your breath away. It was so hot, and some of the stuff we had, like, it was just, I've never had anything that hot in my life. Like, it was just, holy shit. Like,
fucking
like
weird.
you can't feel your mouth. You know what I mean? And like,
yeah,
you're just sweating buckets. You know, just man, so hot.
And it's funny. The first time I had tom yum, I thought was already very bad, and that was in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Right? And then now that I'm riding up to Thailand, I said, okay, I'm going to avoid it because I know that the southern part was pretty bad. But you know, I think it's the east coast part of Thailand and along the border.
Yeah,
they have a milk tom yum.
Okay.
Right, they call it the milk. So it's the clearer one. They literally add milk to it, and you think, okay, safe, should be fucking, you know,
mild.
It's fucking more spicy than the actual one. Fuck me. How do you put chili in milk? Shit, right? So I thought I'm gonna die because it's chili and milk.
Yep.
Right, I'm gonna be fucked for a couple of days already after that. But luckily enough, I was smart. I just took a couple of spoonfuls. I thought, okay, this is gonna kill me. I'm not gonna have that. Fuck it, you know.
Yeah.
But it just boggles the mind how they could put chili in anything.
Yeah, and shitloads of it, like shitloads of it.
Oh fuck me! I mean, you've been to the States, I'm sure, right? So they had their version of chili, and they'll say, "Oh, this is super hot. This is the worst." I said, "No, fuck nothing." You know,
this is nothing.
In Thailand, they have these little chilies.
Yeah,
have you seen them?
Yes,
they're the fucking worst.
Yeah,
right. And they have it in everything. They're dips. They have it in the soy sauce with little bits of chili. You think that, oh, okay, it's the baby ones, you know? Yeah. Fuck, Jesus.
Yeah, no,
I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk after having one of those.
Yeah, no,
it was insane.
Yeah, no, I was the same.
God.
Like I said, this place we went to was like, fucking hell, this is so hot, so hot.
That's crazy.
Poor Elaine, she can hardly eat anything because she like, man, she's like terrible when it comes to chili. Like, just shocking. I'm thinking, fuck, I'm not gonna eat anything here. Like, bad, mate. Fuck.
I know.
Hey, listen, Fletch, I'm gonna have to bail on you. I've got a few things I'm gonna do this afternoon, so I've got to go. So, I'll talk to you later.
I'm gonna call it a day too. I'm gonna call it a day anyway as well because there's not many people on, and I think everybody's just called it a day as well. So, hey, thanks for coming on, mate. So we're having the same one next week.
Yeah, all good. I'll see you then. Hey,
all right, man.
If you want me to do those vocals too, send it across to me.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I'll remix the thing a little bit and then I'll send it across to you.
Yeah, no original, easy done.
All right, thanks, mate.
All right, mate. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Catch up, bye.
Okay, take care. Right, folks. Thank you very much for joining us. You know, as much as I've enjoyed it, it's time now to say goodbye. Join us next week on Chopper Fat's channel. Again, the dynamic duo will be on. Thank you very much and have a good one.